Welcome to this explainer. You know, buying property in Belton, Missouri is definitely not the same as buying in Kansas City proper. Today, we're unpacking this really fascinating pocket of the metro area. Just as a quick reminder up front, this is an educational analysis specifically for real estate investors. It does not constitute legal or tax advice, so please always consult with your own professionals. Okay, let's dive right in and explore the submerged local realities of owning rental property in this specific market. There is a well-known saying in local real estate circles. Belton is the kind of market that reads well on a spreadsheet and then surprises the owner in the second year. I think this perfectly captures the core challenge for remote owners. The purchase price looks great, and the rent is respectable, but surface numbers are really only part of the story. What catches people off guard is the local compliance calendar and the specific jurisdictional rules that you simply cannot see from a basic online listing. Our goal today is to completely remove those second-year surprises. So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Belton Investment Spreadsheet. 2. What drives tenant demand. 3. Missouri and county rules. 4. City registration and compliance. 5. Property essentials and management. And 6. Next steps for investors.
Let's start with Section 1, the Belton Investment Spreadsheet.
Let's kick things off with the headline number, which is 0.62%. If you look at July 2026 data, the average home value in Belton hovered around $274,300. Meanwhile, a standard 3-bedroom property rents for about $1,700 a month. That gives you a gross rent ratio of roughly 0.62%. Now, this is a solid working cash flow number for the metro area, but it is not exactly a spectacular headline number. The practical consequence for you as an investor is that your return in Belton is made at the time of purchase, rather than just found in the market average. That purchase decision usually splits into two distinct paths. On one hand, you have older, established neighborhoods like Cimarron Trails. Buying here gives you a much lower entry basis, which really helps your ratio up front. The trade-off is that you are inheriting aging systems. And let me tell you, a frantic 3 a.m. phone call about a blown furnace in January can completely destroy that 0.62% yield overnight. On the other hand, you have new construction like the Autumn Ridge community. If you buy new, you are essentially prepaying your yield for the peace of mind of builder warranties and zero immediate maintenance. Neither choice is wrong. The mistake is buying one and underwriting it as though it were the other. Moving right along to Section 2, what drives tenant demand? Tenant demand around here is built on 3 really solid pillars. First is logistics. You have massive operations like the Quick Trip Commissary and the Chewy Fulfillment Center. These places require a staggering volume of workers to keep things running around the clock, and those shift workers absolutely need local rentals. Second is healthcare. Belton Regional Medical Center brings in credentialed hospital staff who get paid on a very reliable, fixed schedule. These are fantastic tenants who tend to sign lease renewals instead of shopping the market every single year. The third pillar is education, and this introduces a absolutely crucial operational detail. The Belton School District enrolls over 4,200 students. Families naturally want to keep their kids in the same school, which creates immense tenant stability. But it also means this school enrollment dictates your leasing calendar. Families commit in the late spring and hold through the school year. If you structure a lease to expire in November, you are going to be trying to find a new tenant during the slowest 6 weeks of the entire year. Ignoring the school calendar is a massive financial risk. All right, Section 3, Missouri and county rules. Managing a property here means you are essentially keeping 3 overlapping plates spinning at the exact same time. Belton is not in Jackson County, and it absolutely does not run on Kansas City rules. Out-of-state investors constantly fail because they do not realize the state of Missouri governs lease mechanics, Cass County controls the tax assessment cycle, and the City of Belton dictates annual registration. Let's zoom in on the state level first. Missouri limits a security deposit to a maximum of 2 months of rent. You also have exactly 30 days after a tenancy terminates to return that deposit or provide an itemized list of damages. And here is a major geographical detail to remember. If you ever have to handle an eviction for a Belton property, you literally must file in the 17th Judicial Circuit down in Harrisonville. If you file in Jackson County by mistake, your case will be thrown out, costing you weeks of lost rent. Next up, we have the Cass County tax cycle. Missouri applies a 19% residential assessment ratio to the market value of your property. New assessed values are determined on January 1st of odd-numbered years, and those exact same values apply to the following even-numbered year. Think you can just appeal your taxes whenever you want? Actually, scratch that, you definitely cannot. Your deadline to lodge an appeal to the Board of Equalization is typically the second Monday in July. Missing that July deadline means you are locked into a potentially inflated tax bill for 2 entire years. Section 4. City Registration and Compliance. So as of January 1st, 2025, Belton requires all rental properties to be registered annually. The fee itself is pretty trivial at just $20 per unit. However, the city also requires a designated local contact who resides within 30 miles of the unit. Required city inspections are triggered by a change of occupancy rather than the calendar year. Because this ordinance is relatively new, a lot of remote owners have never filed anything. Picture this. An angry tenant reports a leaky faucet to the city, and suddenly code enforcement uncovers your unregistered, non-compliant rental unit. It is a painful, expensive headache you definitely want to avoid. Section 5. Property Essentials and Management. When purchasing a house in this market, you really need to look past the paint colors and focus on 2 specific features: a garage and a fence. Why? Because the ideal, stable tenant here is often a shift worker who arrives with a truck full of expensive tools that need securing in a garage. Or it's a stable family that arrives with a golden retriever needing a fenced yard. If you miss either of these features, your property will immediately drop off the shortlist for the most highly qualified applicants in the area. Navigating this complex jurisdictional maze and finding those qualified tenants is exactly why having experts on the ground matters. Alpine Property Management Kansas City is the logical, data-driven solution here. They have been managing residential property across the entire metro area since 2013 and currently run a portfolio of more than 250 properties. They handle the whole shebang, everything from leasing and marketing to tenant screening, emergency maintenance, and localized compliance. Across that extensive portfolio, Alpine maintains a 96% occupancy rate. Remember those healthcare and logistics workers we talked about earlier? This high metric is exactly how you capture them. It is a direct testament to effective, targeted tenant placement and full-service marketing. Furthermore, Alpine achieves a blisteringly fast 14-day average vacancy time between tenants. Coupled with an impressive 98% rent collection rate, it is incredibly clear that structured, professional management keeps the cash flow consistent. When you have a local team handling the marketing, the maintenance coordination, and the inevitable tenant turnover, your yield on that investment spreadsheet actually becomes a reality in your bank account. And finally, Section 6, Next Steps for Investors. If you are ready to take action, treat this like an active checklist you need to start right now. Step 1. If you currently own a rental in Belton, call Community Development today and confirm your registration status. Do not risk a code violation over a $20 fee. Step 2. If you are buying, do not underwrite the market average. Look at the specific age of the house, the tax assessment, and the exact condition of the roof and HVAC. Step 3. Secure local representation. You need somebody standing in Missouri who can handle a Harrisonville docket, track July tax appeals, and meet city inspectors. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative question to think about today. Is your Kansas City rental portfolio truly locally compliant? Knowing the rules in Jackson County or across the border in Kansas will not save you when dealing with a Cass County asset. The localized details matter tremendously. For help managing your Kansas City rental property, call Alpine at 816-343-4520 or visit alpinekansascity.com.